In this video, I want to use this beautiful World Poetry Day presentation to showcase 3 new Mote features that I know you're going to love for adding accessibility and inclusive content for your students. So the 3 features we're going to talk about is how to upload audio to create a Mote, how to convert text to a Mote, and how to translate text and audio. So here is the first poem I want to share with my students. And although I could record myself giving a performance of this poem to help my students, because personally I think poetry is far more powerful spoken than read, my voice today doesn't sound great, and I don't think I can do justice to this poem. However, I have found a performance of this poem by Maya Angelou herself, and I want to share that with my students. So I'm going to upload that audio file directly as a Mote. Now, of course, you could do this yourself, adding it to your Google Drive and inserting. But one of the benefits of doing it this way is you can share it with the Mote icon just like any other piece of audio. It's also stored on the Mote side, so you can share it as a link as well as on your Google Drive. I'm going to click Insert, take a couple of seconds, and we will have the audio here in slide. I'm going to expand that.
You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lie.
Beautiful. Now, I also have some discussion questions for my students, and I'd like to add speech to text, read aloud of these instructions, again, just to help the students who would prefer to have those as audio. So I'm going to select all of the text. Let's just go ahead and select that, right click. Sometimes slides can be strange with the copy. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to click here. Now, I think it's going to make more sense to have that in an English US voice. And I'm going to insert that. And after a couple of seconds, we will have the read aloud of these instructions.
How does Maya Angelou seem to feel about herself?
Okay, great. So I have my instructions as a read aloud, and you might prefer to do this if you're in a noisy environment, or maybe you're not feeling great. I have a bit of a cold today, so my voice doesn't sound too great. So that's an easy solution. Finally, I happen to have, maybe you happen to have, students in your class who don't speak English as a first language, and we just want to make them feel as fully accommodated as possible. So I'm going to translate these instructions into Spanish. And to do that, I am going to use one of the newer features from Mote, which is the ability to take a transcript and translate it and then drag it into the page. So first things first, I'm going to translate this to Spanish. I'm going to use a Spanish US voice, and I'll show you why in a minute. So if I click play here.
How does Maya Angelou?
So that still remains the same, but if I click here.
¿Cómo parece sentirse Maya Angelou acerca de sí misma?
Fantastic. So I have my translated Spanish instructions, and I could drag that into the page, but actually it may be easier for me simply to click copy transcript. I'm going to select the text on the page and simply click paste, and then I have my list of translated questions. Now, I also would like to provide a read aloud instructions. So to do that, I am going to do what I did earlier. I'm going to click generate. I'm going to change the language here to Spanish, Español, Estados Unidos, and I'm going to paste this text here. Click generate, and after a couple of seconds, I will have my Spanish translation as well as my English instructions in audio.
¿Cómo parece sentirse Maya?
I hope those 3 features will help you in your classroom this coming school year.